Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the John Lang Music Channel. Today, we're going to talk about the worst songs of the 70s. And I will say that I am a child of the 70s. I don't deny it. I grew up in the 70s. I was a teenager then. I'm a baby boomer. What can I say? And I think for the most part, there's some pretty stellar music that came out in the 70s. But as with everything, there's also a flip side to it, and there were some real turds that came out in the 70s also that we had to bear and deal with. And back then, for the most part, we didn't have the choice that we do now to move on to the next song, like on YouTube or Pandora or Spotify, where you can just skip on to the next song. We had to listen to the radio, and what you got was what you got. And if you didn't like it, you left the room and went and did something else for 4 or 5 minutes. I used to listen every week to Casey Kasem's Top 40, and a lot of times I'd take my little cassette recorder and put it next to the radio and record it, and then I could just play the songs I liked and skip through the ones that I didn't like. But I've seen a few of these videos on YouTube with the worst songs of the 70s, and there's like three songs that I see on most of them that are kind of novelty songs, and I'm going to kind of give them dishonorable mentions. I'm not going to include them because really, I don't think they were intended to be taken seriously. Unfortunately, they did get played a lot on the radio, and people had to just deal with it. The first time you heard them, they were kind of funny, and then the second time, slightly funny, and the third time, they were just annoying. But these songs are Disco Duck by Rick Dees, which of course was a spoof of the old disco era and done in a very annoying Donald Duck voice. And the second one is The Streak by Ray Stevens, which of course was poking fun at people running around naked like they did back then. And what a time it was, you know. And the last one is Convoy, which of course was about the CB radio craze. And of course, lo and behold, he had to talk like he was talking on a CB radio in the song. And everybody thought that was pretty cute. And there was a movie to go along with it. So anyway, the Streak and Convoy were both #1 songs. So somebody out there was not only listening to it, they were out there buying the singles and playing them over and over. So God help them. Anyway, I'm going to give you my list, and I think I've included some on here that other people haven't, simply because these are songs by some well-known artists that are known and loved. But just because they're a well-known artist, to me, doesn't mean they can't put out a dud every now and then. So here we go. Number 10, and this is by our friend Elton John, who of course put out some pretty amazing music over the years, like Your Song, Daniel, Crocodile Rock, all good stuff. You know, him and Bernie Taupin doing the lyrics. But unfortunately, he came out with Benny and the Jets. And, you know, the song itself is tolerable up to a certain point, and then about like 3.5 minutes into the song, I guess he ran out of ideas and just decided for the rest of the song he was just going to yell, Benny, 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 Benny. Like, shut up already. Benny heard you, okay? Go back into your little house and write another song, okay, Elton? Anyway, I can't take that one. I'm sorry. Moving right along, number 9. And once again, this is a well-known artist, beloved by many, Paul Simon. The song is 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. You know, Paul wrote some pretty good songs. You know, Simon and Garfunkel had The Sound of Silence. They had Bridge Over Troubled Water. All kinds of cool stuff. The Boxer. But 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, it's like he was just taking a lyric writing class or something. But, you know, slip out the back, Jack. Make a new plan, Stan. You don't need to be coy, Roy.
Just slip out the back, Jack. Make a new plan, Stan. You don't need to be coy, Roy.
That's straight out of Lyric Rhyming 101. I can't take it. It sends me up a tree when I hear it. It's like, go back to the drawing board on that one, Paul. I'm sorry. Number 8. This is by Randy Newman. And I remember at the time it was kind of a controversial song. Some people got very offended by it, which obviously it was never intended to be taken seriously, but it's called Short People. And, short people got nobody, blah, 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 blah. Short people this, short people that.
Short people got nobody. Short people got no.
I don't think they had any reason to be offended by it, but I'm more offended by the fact that it's just a crappy song. I can't really take more than a few bars of it, and I'm running for the radio dial looking for something else, so send that one back. Sorry, Randy. Number 7, and once again, this is by a biggie here. This is Paul McCartney and Wings, who of course had some amazing songs. Band on the Run, Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey, My Love, all incredible stuff. But along with the good stuff, kind of threw in a bad one there. It's called Let 'Em In, Someone's Knocking at the Door. And, it's just kind of a laundry list of his friends that he wants to let in the door. I guess, I don't know. Someone's knocked the door, someone's ringing the bell, let 'em in,
Someone knocking at the door, somebody ringing the bell, someone's...
Uncle Albert, no, he doesn't say Uncle Albert. He says Brother John, Martin Luther, Sister Susie. I don't know who all he mentions, but he's just got a bunch of people standing out there on the front porch. He needs to turn the doorknob, let them in, move on to another song. All right, number 6. And this is a guy that you wouldn't really expect to have a top 40 hit in the 70s, but lo and behold, some kind of way it happened. This is a guy who's a Las Vegas icon, Wayne Newton. It's called Daddy, Don't You Walk So Fast, and it's a tearjerker, this one. It's about some guy going through a divorce, and his little child is running after him. Daddy, don't walk so fast, don't walk away from me. It's just...
Daddy, don't you walk so fast. Daddy.
Like I say, it's a tearjerker, but boy, it was just so contrived at the time. You just could only take it once or twice, and once you got the gist of the song, that was enough. You didn't want to hear it anymore. It's like, send it back, Wayne. Go back to Vegas and do your show and make your millions of dollars. Anyway, number 5. And this song is actually kind of a touching sentiment. I'm sure there are people that this is their song because it reminds them of having their first child or something. It's called You're Having My Baby by Paul Anka. And, it's a nice song that he's singing to who I assume is his wife or somebody is having his child. But it's just so sappy and so syrupy.
You're having my baby. What a lovely way.
Having my baby, what a lovely way to say how much you love me. That's great, but I got so tired of hearing it that I would probably throw the radio across the room if I heard it now. Anyway, back to the drawing board with that one. Number 4, and this song, I'll just tell you what it is. It's Billy, Don't Be a Hero. And believe it or not, the song was bad, but it was so popular that they made it a hit with 2 different bands in 2 different countries. Originally, it was done by Paper Lace, and it was a number 1 hit in the UK. And everybody was so excited by that another group ran out in the United States called Bo Donaldson and the Haywoods, and they made a number 1 hit out of it in the United States. But, the lyrics are just so contrived. It's about a guy that's going off to war, and his fiance or whoever it is doesn't want him to get killed, and she's telling him, Billy, keep your head low.
Billy, don't be a hero. Don't be a fool with your life.
And I just keep picturing Billy running around the battlefield with his head ducked down. Of course, he winds up getting killed anyway, so it was all for naught. And at the end, the army or whoever sends her a letter saying, so sorry, Billy was killed, and she she threw the letter away, I guess, or something. I don't know. But once again, overplayed. Can't deal with it. Number 3, and this song I think would have been better suited for like a children's album. You know, I'm sure children would have just loved it. Like maybe Sesame Street or something. But unfortunately, that's not where it wound up. It wound up on Top 40 radio, and all us adults had to deal with it. It's called Brand New Key by Melanie, and it's this cutesy little voice. I got a brand new pair of roller skates, you got a brand new key, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on, talking about that pair of roller skates. And I guess it's her allusion to, hey, let's get together and get it on. Only saying it in a nice way or something. But
I got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key.
send that pair of roller skates back to the manufacturer and get your money back, because I can't take that one. Number 2, and once again, this is a song that probably would be better suited for a children's album, and actually I think it was originally written for the movie The Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's called The Candy Man, and it was done by Sammy Davis Jr., and it's just so sappy, you know, who can take a sunrise, blah, blah, blah. And it's got a bunch of children singing the chorus with him.
Oh, the Candyman can.
It's just awful. It's just, and they just played it and played it. You couldn't get away from it even if you tried. So, sorry, not that one. No. And here we are at number 1. And this song, for me, it was just no contest. This song, for me, is just so terrible. Whenever I hear it, I just instantly cringe. And it's by an artist who really was very talented. He had some songs. It's Harry Nilsson, his song that he did, Without You, which he didn't write, but he did a fantastic version of it. He did Everybody's Talking at Me. He was just a very talented singer and piano player, but he comes out with this song, Coconut. And, oh, put the lime in the coconut. Put the lime in the coconut. All the way through the song, put the lime in the coconut.
She put the lime in the coconut, she drank and poured up, she put the lime in.
I wish that coconut would fall and hit him on the head and have him rethink that whole thing, but for some reason it was just a massive hit, and they still play it on classic rock radio sometimes, and I just can't take that one. I'm so sorry. That's the worst of the worst. Anyway, this is all tongue-in-cheek. I know that these songs were all big sellers and made a lot of money, so more power to them, but they're not for me. I'd be curious to know what your take is on all these, and I'd be curious to know what are your worst songs of the 70s, so leave it in the comments, and we'll see what you have to say about it. Thanks a lot. Bye.